The research comprised defining and redefining the problem, hypothesis, or suggesting the solution. What is the use of this research? Mean what it give us? Mean why we want to do the research? It's mainly to discover the answer to the question through the application of scientific the procedures. That is, we all know in 2020 the COVID has come. That is the corona. After 1 year, we get the vaccine. If they have not discovered anything, um, probably no one have getting the dose or the vaccinated. Mean they have discovered because of the disease has rise, because they start searching for the answer for this. This is nothing but the discovery in the scientific the procedure. Scientific procedure is nothing the but whatever the vaccine they have the newly mean once the vaccine is ready, they cannot give to the human. They have to go with the some, and that we called as a clinical trial. Okay, that first they have to go for the mice, mouse, like that. If they're getting the positive result, then only they expose to the whatever the dosage to the human. Again in the human they first go for the voluntaries, then to the public. Okay, the main aim of the research is to find out the truth which is hidden and which has not been discovered as it. Mean whatever the research we do, it should be novel. No one should have done that, and it should be newer. If it is not new, it's not mean the research. Okay, what motivate the research? If the people are interested in research, what make them to motivate? Desire to get research the degree, that is has during the PhD, postdoc, or MPhil, they want to do. Okay, desire to get the research degree along consequent the benefit, and to face the challenge in solving the unsolved the problem. That is, I think the research the people to give that is they take the major the subject in there the PhD to identify the vaccination of the COVID, and now the upcoming for a Omicron, and many particle has started with the nanoparticle. Mean it should be like the challenging and should solve the unsolved the problem. This is like the type of the fashion. This is it's a give for or doing some creative the work, and because of this it is even to serve the society, it help the society. Usually this is the complete the process of the research. That is, the research process will go like this. First we should know the problem what they are facing, then we should know the literature of that. That is, before that is, if I just take the example of the corona the virus, the first is the vaccine, that is the diseases is spreading. What's the main source? Mean why this is diseases is coming? Virus is whether it's the virus, the bacteria, whether it's the algae. We go with the literature, the survey. Then we are formulating the hypothesis. We are just designing the research, the sampling, and start we collecting the data, analyzing, interpreting, and the report. This is how the research, the paper will this go for the flow. Source of research paper. Okay, I'm interested in research, but I don't know where to search the research the paper. That is, the first is PubMed. Okay, this is National Center for Biotechnology, the information. This the PubMed, all this is the place where you can see you can download, and some of the paper will be you can read only the abstract, some of them you'll get the full text. That is all biomedical the literature which is related to the medicine, the life science, and you'll also get the books. Okay, in the PubMed. This is the this is the URI. You just click on, you'll get. That is in the practical section. I'll teach how to use. Then okay, then this is the research the gate. This is the platform. This is the one of the platform where traditionally the research the paper, that is the publish the paper, it's we can able to the access. For this you can you can log in here also in the PubMed. You can log in. It's a free. Okay, whatever the searching, everything will be there. Whatever the searching, all the records will be there if you sign in. Okay, here also it's a research the gate. You should get sign in first. If you're not sign in, you're not able to search any of the research in the paper. It is a free to join, even for the student, academic, the faculty, or from the industrial the paper. It's a free. But before it was we can work with our old Gmail ID. But now I think from past 4 years, it's asking academic. The email the ID. So once you have login, you can search the paper in your field. If you are interested, that is the best example. My work of specialization is protein amylase. Just who are the people who are working on the amylase, will you can contact with them. If you have any queries, you can ask. And if you want a publication, what they have did, you can ask them, so that you have a direct the contact. You can send a direct the message to them, and it's completely updated. Mean whatever the paper they have to publish within 1 or 2 days, it is updated automatically, or they can upload. Anything can be the possible, and you can see the updates, recent updates. And the next one is the Google Scholar. Mean whatever you search in the Google, that will be in the Google Scholar. Here also you can have your own the profile, that is your name, college, institute, and what are the paper you have published. Everything you can update your the own. Here also you can search. I'll just go with the practically once you are finished. Then how next we go for structure of research paper. If I take any manuscript, that is any research the article, how it's going to be the arrange. The first will be the title. The title should the title should be a clear. Okay, and that is what the reader should understand your work by reading the topic. This is the message, that is whatever the work you are doing, the title should the explain. It should be in one the sentences. It should have some clarity. It should have some attractive specific to your work, and it should be accurate. It should not use any abbreviation in the title. It should be completely give the correct picture of what work you are doing. It is a kind of the message that as soon as that one anyone can read the paper, they should understand what work you are explaining in your the paper. The followed by author's name. Mean how many authors are involved in doing that the research the paper. Affiliation, that is colleges, and the mail address. Usually the corresponding the author can go for the mail address, or the first author. It's their choice. Is the based on the author the choice. Next will be the abstract. The abstract should have less than 250 the words. And when we write the research article, many people feel difficult while they're writing the abstract. The why? Because this abstract should contain all the information, that is what work you are the doing, that is one line introduction to the work, and what you are the finding, the result, that is the summary, and the summary, and the disc and what you have identified. Everything should be there in the abstract. That is, as soon as they read the abstract, they should be eager to read for the whole paper. They should be like somewhat the curious. They should feel like they want to read the complete the paper. So abstract should always catchy. Okay, so it should be very clear, and it should not more than 250 words. Next part is the introduction. Introduction either can go for 2 to 3 paragraph, and it is introduction. You're just summarizing what you are doing. That is what the to the readers. First they understand what is your topic, so you have to give the brief introduction of your topic, then the current the status of the subject, and also you should what is the problem, then why you are doing this work. Okay, that is the problem, the statement. and what you're going to identify. That is the goal of your the study. At the last line of the introduction, you should tell what is the result, mean what you have identified. That is the mean work, what you have identified in your the research. And the next is methods. In some journal you can see methods and materials, some paper it methodology like that. This is the complete procedure what they have the followed in their the research, the work, and the statistical the analysis. That is, so if they have they're using the two animals, or or they are going with some standard the protocol. So everything should be the mention. And the next part will be the result. And in this the result, they can start explaining regarding the chart, the diagram, and then tabular column, the figures, all the data. That is what they from the methodology what they have get. And the discussion, interpretation of the data, limitation, and the summary statement. The finally the acknowledgement for the people who are help for their work. It can be the like funding agency, or they're using some equipment in some laboratories, so they want to acknowledge them. Or by if they want to get some source, some have done some help them, so they can just go for the acknowledgement of all. Mainly the funding agency will come under here. And the reference, mean what are the reference paper they have they used. Okay, it's not getting. Okay, once you done the research, how you are presenting the oral the presentation. Usually the oral presentation is a 10 plus 5 we called. That is 10 minutes for the presentation and 5 minutes for question and answering. In this the 10 minutes you should know this kind 10 minutes will tell what you have to explain. That is the first you go with, that is this the oral the presentation will completely, it should be most effective. You can use slides, you can go with the wall charts, or you can go with the blackboard. In this oral presentation, a few important the table, the chart, which mainly the concerning the research result you have to the explain. So the listener will be more attractive, and they just identify what you are the focusing of the thinking what you are explaining. Mainly in academic, the institute researcher will discuss their the finding in the by the mean of the oral the presentation. And if you come to the students, they go with the seminar or with the group the discussion. Again in oral presentation, the first will be the title. Before title, you have to introduce the yourself. That is your, you should say introducing yourself, then your name, then from which college, and next go for the and just warm welcoming to everyone, like good afternoon or good morning or good evening, like that. Then you start with the title. Again the title should be effective, it should be in one word. Then the background is nothing but the objective of your the research. That is the state of your research, the questioning why you start this work, like that, the background. Then the methodology. This methodology give the information regarding the study design, what you have done. That is the title in the first one slide, and the background in at least one or two slide. Methodology go for 3 to 4 slides, and the result. In again in the result, it should be a three again in 1 or 2 slides. In this result, in this the result again, you can explain with a chart or tabular column, some diagram, like this. In the discussion, you can I mean describe the limitation and the strength of your study, and what is the further scope of your the study. If you have any plan of continuing the research a little bit here, you can discuss. And finally the acknowledgement your mentor or your guide, the financial the support, the people who are uh, make you to work, and the question and answering the period. And this is for the 5 minutes. So this is completely go for the 10 minutes. Next, I'll go for the practical the section. Okay, this is the PubMed ID. That is in this is the PubMed ID of one research article. What I thought of the explaining. This is the PubMed ID that is in the Google. Just if you write this, if you give this the number, the whole paper will be the open. Okay, this is called as PubMed ID. MPP PubMed ID. Okay, this is the number. This number is nothing but this is the manuscript, the number. Instead of writing the whole the title, or everything, you can just write the PubMed ID. If I just, this is the hyperlink. If I click, it get open. That is, this article will open. So I already opened this article. Can you able to see the paper? Students, can you able to see the paper?
Yes.
Yes, that is +1. Identification of individual component of a commercial wheat germ acid phosphatase preparation. Ma'am, can you able to see?
Yes, Padmashri, you can continue. If there's a
Okay.
problem, we'll let you know.
Okay. This is the research article. See, again, in the manuscript, we have a different type: original article, then short communication, then the review. Original article and research article both are same. Okay, that is, they are done the research, then they are presenting. Review is the collection of all the research articles, then come to the conclusion. It's not their own work, they are just compiling the work and explaining. Okay, now I'm explaining the original article, that is the research the article. Okay, in this is the title, author name, that is affiliation, the email ID. That is, this is the title. The title should explain, as I told, title should be specific, effective. As soon as they read the title, they should able to understand what work you have done. Okay, here identification of individual component of a commercial wheat germ acid phosphatase preparation. That is what I understand, that they have identified some individual component in wheat germ. Wheat germ is nothing but the germinated wheat. Okay, that is germinated wheat, they called as the wheat, the germ. And they are interested in acid phosphatase. That is, this is the enzyme they are the prepared. Okay, this is very recent paper I found interesting. So, and it's related to enzymology. So I took this paper. Okay, this is the abstract. The abstract should, as I told, it should be less than 200 the word, and it should compile of all. First, it should tell the background. Then it should I'll just highlight the important things so that you will understand. First, it will first go for the background and why they are doing. That is the main objective of the study, what they have identified, and the summary. Okay, first I'll read the abstract and I will tell you. Okay. The wheat germ acid, the phosphatase, is a commercially the prepared of partial purified protein commonly used in the laboratory, the setting for non-specific enzymatic dephosphorylation. That is what they are telling. This is the enzyme, that is the wheat the germ acid phosphatase. This is the enzyme. This is commercially the prepared for partially pure. Okay, that partially is nothing but they are not completely pure. It is a crude. Crude is nothing but it have a mixture of more enzyme after the same enzyme. Okay, the protein commonly used in the laboratory, mean this acid phosphatase they used in the laboratory, the setting for non-specific enzymatic dephosphorylation. Dephosphorylation is nothing but the removing of the phosphate. Always understand, phosphatase is the one will remove the phosphate. Kinase is the one will add the phosphate to the target. Here, this the phosphatase is removing. So this is non-specific enzyme dephosphorylate, removing the phosphate group. This phosphate, phosphate is nothing but, okay, I'll read the abstract. Okay, this they're giving the introduction, so they are taking the wheat. It is known that the preparation contain multi protease isozyme and or still relatively a crude. Mean whatever the commercially the available this phosphate is, it's a crude. Crude is nothing but it's not purified. We call whenever in enzymology we use this word partially purified. This is the crude sample. This is the pure. This is purified the sample. Crude is nothing but it is the mixture. It is not that is in the mixture there is different the enzyme. It may be the same enzyme or it can be the different enzyme. Here they are telling isozyme mean the phosphatase only but the different the phosphatase. It's a crude. This study, this is the background. Okay, this study mean in that is the scientist, that is this author, what they have done, that is they are telling this study therefore aim to identify. So what they are telling, this is the problem, whatever the commercially available the phosphatase the enzyme, it's a crude, it is not purified, so they are interested in purifying. That is this study therefore aim to identify the protein a component of a commercially preparation of a wheat germ acid phosphatase using mass spectroscopy and comparative the genomic. They are telling we are identifying the protein a component of this commercially preparation of this wheat germ acid phosphatase. They're telling which method they are using. One is mass spectroscopy, other is comparative the genomics, that is they're using little bit work of the bioinformatics. After one post that is after some purification, they're telling the result. Okay, first they'll tell what is their aim. In the same sentence they told they've used the methodology, that is mass spectroscopy and comparative genomics. From this method they'll get the result. They're telling the most prevalent 15 He protein in the mixture, including that is they got the result with the 15 He protein. In this they are mentioning which are most important, like heat shock protein, beta amylase, then dehydrogenase, enolase, and amino the peptidase. They did not give complete full, but they have told they have the 15 and they just give few things. Not while not among the most abundant the component. They'll get some more interestingly in this 8 unique. Unique is nothing but it's a novel, the newly identified D-phosphatase enzyme. In this, they've identified 8 D-phosphatase enzyme were also present, including 3 purple acid phosphatase. Okay, in this, in 8, 3 are the purple acid phosphatase. So furthermore, it is show that some of this corresponding to the previous. They're telling whatever they identify, it is also supporting to the previous the studied the studied, that is shown in the transcriptosome the data which has been the overlap. That is what they have identified. They identify 8 unique D-phosphatase, then 3 purple, that is in 8 3 phosphate, that is abstract. First it contained the background, then what is the drawback, that is the what is the problem, and what is the aim, what they are studying. Then the next one, what method they are included in identification, what result they got. Then they are summarizing completely. In summary, this study identified the major component of wheat germ acid phosphatase, including the phosphatase, and hypothesized the most active component towards a better understanding of this commonly used laboratory tool. That is, this is the phosphatase is the one of it's a common chemical they used in the laboratory. I mean, this is the summary. That is, as soon as anyone to read, they read two things. The one is title of the article, and the next one is the abstract. This two thing will be catchy, understandable, effective, and whoever it is read, it should be like simple words. It should not make them some complicated words. So whoever it is read, they feel like the reading the article. That is, if they feel some interesting in this, they try to read the whole paper, mean they download the paper. If download is not possible, they just can write the requesting the letter to the author, so they will send the full text. Because many of the research, the article will not get full text, it will, you have to pay. So during that time you can request the author, hi, I'm a student, I'm more interested in your paper, like that. So if you're requested, yes, many people will send actually. Okay, next go for the introduction. I told you introduction should be either two
Excuse me,
to it.
ma'am.
Yeah, please.
Actually, I can only see the PDF. I can't see the article link. Like, I can't see the article. There's only link on the screen.
Is it? Okay, fine. I'll share 1 minute then. Okay, 1 minute I'll share. Okay, now can you see the old paper?
Yes, ma'am. It's visible now. Thank you so
It's
much.
visible. Okay, welcome. So this is the abstract. Next will be the introduction. Introduction, I told you it should be 2 to 3 paragraph. It should not more. And in the introduction, first you have to give the background. Background, it's nothing but many of them will not knowing the phosphatase. You should explain what is phosphatase, what is enzyme, and how they are classified, what the different type of the phosphatase, and then you have to come to your the subject. Is here also they have done the same way. Phosphatase first, this is the enzyme, always AAC, that is AAC is nothing but the enzyme. What this enzyme will do, will hydrolyze the phosphatic monoester, the compound, that is we have the monoester. It will kill by the hydrolysis to give a free inorganic phosphate and the alcohol. So this enzyme will hydrolyze and give from inorganic the phosphate and the alcohol. Then classification of phosphatase. Usually we have two type of the class phosphatase. One is acid phosphatase and the alkaline the phosphatase. Mean this phosphatase have classified based on the environment. Mean based on the environment where the best act. How can they react, whether in acidic condition or in the alkaline adhida condition. If it is acidic, you know it's a lesser than 7 is a base, it's a basic or alkaline. The more than the pH, this is 7. Okay, then they're then explaining which whether they are going for acid phosphatase or basic phosphatase. That is the first they're giving the background of the topic. That is in the first introduction the part. And I also tell about the purple acid phosphatase. Purple acid phosphatase is nothing but this is a metalloenzyme. Some metal have attached. It can be calcium, it can be the iron, it can be molybdenum. Like the some metal have attached to the enzyme. When this enzyme will undergo oxidation, they'll change in the color. They appear either in the purple or the violet. Because of that, they called as purple acid the phosphatase. Okay, that is the first para will give the background. Okay, the next come to the subject. The first, then they talk about the commercially the wheat germ acid. Then they're telling why they are studying, what is the what is the problem, and what's their aim, and what they got. That is, this is the first the para. In the second para, first what they will do, that is they take the commercial. This is the commercial the wheat a germ acid. Okay, the phosphatase, this is acid phosphatase. Acid phosphatase, that is this phosphatase will work the less than the pH the 7, is extracted from the germ or embryo of the wheat the plant. That is the germinated the wheat or can be the embryo, used in the in vivo. That is in 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 many biochemistry the laboratory, specifically the available and inexpansible the cost. That is that is in this para they're explaining what's the use of this, and the most common choice for many the project where they have used. That is for the project. Why? Because it is a broad specific the phosphate where they have used in the education and in the research the purpose. While the name the wheat germ acid, the phosphate is implied, this is a singular the protein. That is, according to the name, what it's tell, it is a single protein. But whatever the commercially the available is partially the purified. This is the problem. Okay, this is the problem which is known how which contain multi protein. But what it's telling in the second para, in the word it's telling it's a singular protein, but whatever the commercially available, it is partially purified and it's contain the many protein. So there are, what is the, now they are explaining what is their aim. That is, now they're explaining okay, then what is the important of this study? They're just telling whatever the important the component where it is, that is, if they go with the commercially, they go for the better understanding of mechanism of the action, determine whether the approximate the phosphate have used in their the purpose. This is the thing what they have done. That is, they are telling in numerous publication laboratory activity to purify this the mixture. The active phosphatases in this mixture, however, had not been previously done. They are telling, even though it is impure, even though it is partially the purified, no one have done work to purify this. In this, the mixture, however, has not previously been identified. This word is very important. Whatever the work we should do, it should be like novel. They have, no one have done this work. They are telling no one have done on this. So they are interested to work on this. Okay, that is, this the wheat have a exo exoplody. Exo is nothing but the 6. The plody is nothing but the homologous the set of, that is whatever the set of the haploid it will in that it contain. That is, here they're done with the hybridization. One is the tetrahaploid, one with the haploid plody. So they will get the 6. Okay. Next we go for the last the line. That is what they have done. Okay, they are telling there are many that is, there are many paralogs. The gene and the allele are present, make the gene and the protein identification histologically the difficult. That is, they are, as I told, they are going for the 2 studies. One is mass spectroscopy and one is with the bioinformatics genomic the study. They'll also go with the genomic study. They are telling what is the important of that. Okay, because recently available the complete gene is available in the NCBI. So they are going with the protein identification from the mass spectroscopy. After that, it has not been completely the clear whatever they have given, it's not completely. So they are using pepsin degeneration and the subsequently they go for mass spectroscopy to identify the peptide, the fragment from the commercially the preparation of acid phosphatase from the wheat, and they have identified and they have described. So they're telling what they have identified. This is the para. That is, the first para will give the background, that is give the introduction of the phosphatase. The next, why they have the selected and why, and objective it's telling they're not done it's a previously so they are interested to do. Then what are the methodology, the methods and material. Here they are explaining how they have done, what are the technique they have used. That is, here they go with the grade, that is the sigma. I think you had seen in the laboratory. You have the sigma, then the high tech. That is the different the company, the chemicals you are taking. Just they have given the code of that. That is, they take this and they will add sodium the citrate, the centrifuge filter. That is, when they're doing this experiment, they can't do in a one stitch. They have a trial and the error the method. Why they should use from 41 millimolar sodium the citrate of the pH 4.8, not with the 5, because even the 5 is the acidic. So this they have to go with all the standardized the method method. In this, after once they have standardized is nothing but they first check out with all which is giving the good result is need to mean that it is the protocol has been the standardized. They're centrifuging the filter and subjected to size exclusion chromatography. That is here, this is the size exclusive chromatography they are going. They're using a called as Harrison, that is the Superdex 75. Again, in the Superdex, we have different grade like 25, 100, 150, 200. That is based on what matrix or what resin they are using and what column, what is the column length, what's the width, everything. The flow rate, that is flow rate is nothing but in 1 minute they can able to collect the 0.7 ml, like they're just collecting the fraction of point to the fell for 10 to 15 for 9 to 10 to 19 minutes, and they go for identifying that in 280 the nanometer. And whatever the sample they have collected, they are run in SDS study the page, and they see the absorption, and they have used, this is the substrate what they use, that is the paranitrophenol, the phosphatase. The enzyme is the phosphatase, so it gives the result. So
Padmashri,
this, yes ma'am.
Can I interrupt you,
Yes
please?
ma'am, yes ma'am, sure.
Are you showing something on a screen because it cannot be seen? One. Two, I think you can wind up so that students, we can have a discussion more than a
Okay,
presentation.
okay.
I think
Okay ma'am.
you don't
Okay,
mind?
ma'am, 2 minutes. Yes, ma'am, 2 minutes. I'll
Yeah.
take.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the, ma'am, it's not able to see.
I
I'm
can't.
sharing PDF. I'm
Nothing
sharing.
can be seen except PD in the middle.
Is
Anyway,
it?
don't worry. I think you can wind up and we could have an active discussion. Now it can be seen.
Is
But we
it?
could have an active discussion probably.
Yeah, ma'am, sure. I mean, 2 minutes I'll
Yeah.
wind up. Okay, this
Yeah,
paper I'll
fine.
2 minutes and in wind up.
Yeah.
So this is the okay, this is the methodology. What are the different methodology they have used? That is mass spectroscopy, and the FASTA for the sequencing, that is annihilation of the gene. And in the result and the discussion, they are explaining and they are telling what are the 8 they have got. So here you can see, this is, as I told, this is the tetraploidy, mean hexaploidy, tetraploidy, and ploidy, and these are the 8 they have identified. In this, the purple a color, purple acid phosphatase, the 3. Um, this is the result. So they start explaining the chart with the diagram, and this is the sequence, the alignment, and then the finally that is the finally go for the conclusion. In this conclusion, they'll tell what they have identified and what is the important. Okay. The okay, ma'am. Ma'am, I'm opening one more a tab. So just go to just explain the PubMed. So can I go in 2 minutes? At least 5 minutes?
Okay.
Okay.
2
Can
minutes.
you able to see the PubMed, students? Can you able to
Yes.
this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, okay. This is the PubMed. So here I can the search whatever the topic I'm interested. So just I'm right like the phytochemical. I'm interested in phytochemical. Phytochemical. So I'm interested in some plant that is in neem. Just I write in neem and just I go for the search. So what the search will do, it will take two things. One is the phytochemical and the neem. In the abstract, wherever this word will match, I'll get. Okay, you can the see the phytochemical, the screening in a neem, the plant in a neem. Okay, the fire that is phytochemical in the neem plant. This is the scientific the name, because I'm given the name. Even the PubMed will understand the scientific the name. So it will start here in the PubMed. You can go. You can see the what is the research output. That is from 2001 to 2000. You can see that the peak mean this much of the publication. You can see availability. That is you want only the abstract or free full abstract full abstract. Free is nothing but you can. Full abstract mean you have to purchase. You should purchase. Okay. Then publication date mean for the 1 year you need, or from the last 5 year, from last the 10 year. Usually always go with the current, the 1 year, that is the 1 year. This is how you can set, and you can the search. You can go with the anything. So I'll go with the name with the microRNA. That is, if they have anyone work extraction of microRNA in a name. I'm not using any word like and or have. You just go with the star. It will go ahead. It will take. If you go, that is microRNA in a name. Just it try to search for the word microRNA in a name. Instead of I'm going with the star. Okay, here you can see the characterization of the microRNA in a name, in leaf and stem, like this. So this is how you can search in PubMed. Next, I'll go with the Google Scholar. Google Scholar is the same. And now in the case of ResearchGate, you should have your own ID. You have to join. After that, you can search. Okay, ma'am. I'm finishing my section, students. Thank you. Okay,
Thank
it's
you,
open for the
Padmashri.
discussion. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Padmashri.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it's now open for discussion. Ma'am's kind of summarized how you could read a research paper and where to find a research paper, and how to go about it if you want to present it briefly. A journal club's idea is basically to arouse interest in students and faculty alike on things that have excited us. You know, I read in the paper sometimes a very fascinating thing, and then I go look up uh, an article. I put keywords in PubMed or uh, allied sites like Google search or something, Google Scholar, and then I find something related, which is scientifically established in a good journal, and I'd like to present it. And this is the platform where we can share our um, excitement on discoveries and things. So, do you have any questions that you would like to ask, madam, or I could pitch in? Dead silence. What happened?
So
Come,
you
it should
can
be an
die.
interactive.
You
It
should.
has
You
to be
can tell.
interactive.
If you're silent, I can go with the two words. You understand everything, or you not understand anything. Yes, please. I got one register number 9. CZ, MCZ,
MCZ.
please. Yeah, MCZ, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Ma'am, I had a question.
yeah, please.
While writing research papers, you often need to use very scientific terminology that we're not otherwise exposed to, in our syllabus and things like that. So, do you know resources where we could find more scientific words to describe what we need to?
Scientific, the word, I don't understand word. What is you asking, right? Can you repeat once again?
Yes, ma'am. So, research papers often use very high level scientific terminology, and these are words that we don't really learn in our syllabus. So is there like a dictionary or something that we can use to find such
Okay.
scientific words?
Okay, I understand your question. I presented the one paper right now. It's not my paper, it's a someone the paper. Did you somewhere, anywhere you just go with some scientific word in this?
No, Padmashri, I think I understand what she's trying to say. May not be in this particular paper, but I've had
Okay.
this problem also. I don't know your name. Would you like to identify yourself? Mostly
Yes,
the
ma'am.
BBZ
I'm
fellows I
Amrita.
know. Amrita, yeah.
Sorry.
Amrita, hi.
Yes, ma'am.
See, generally, I know when I first wanted to do a PhD and I landed up in the lab, for 1 week they gave me to read papers, okay, lots of review papers, and honestly, a lot of it went over my head. All right. Then discussing with my peers and my class, I mean, the other people who are doing PhD with me, and slowly, getting into the jargon, I was able to understand what was happening. So it happens to all of us. The first time we read scientific papers, most of it goes way ahead, it flies over our heads. So that's nothing to be worried about. That's why you have a guide, and that's why you have faculty who are also competent enough to help you out in understanding the paper. So you're blessed that most of the faculty in St. Joseph's College have research experience, are PhDs. You can approach any one of them, whether it's in the microbiology department or chemistry or zoology or biotechnology. I think anybody would help you out if you can't understand something and you'd like it to be explained to you. So I think that's the best bet, is to go to somebody who's already experienced.
Okay, I understand, ma'am. Actually, even I took. I read one paper more than 5 to 6 times. It's very difficult when you are first you're reading the research paper. The first time you'll understand little bit. The next you'll understand little bit, like that. If you keep on reading the same paper at least from 5 to 6 times, you feel easy. Okay, first you go with the abstract, then methodology. That is my guide used to tell. First, you read the abstract, just write what you have understood. Then read the discussion and the result part. Then go for the methodology, like that. If you read all paper at once, you will not understand. First, read the abstract. If you understand something in the abstract, then try to read the rest of the paper. That's why the abstract is very important in reading and even while writing the paper. If you're good in understanding the abstract, then it will be very easy. As ma'am told, for the first time, it's take more time. That is myself. I read one paper more than 10 to 15 times. Then after that, as the times go, one day I can read 10 paper. It will be like that. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
You'll not get any dictionary or yeah, please.
There's a question in the chat box.
Yeah.
Okay. If you would find out the data you will use in the research, would you do it the best? Knowing and acquire the best data, the changing your research from the source according to the time, circumference, the place, and audience.
Would you like me to answer them?
Yes, ma'am. So
yes. Yeah, go ahead.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You go ahead.
Yes, Justin, you will have to give your best when you've decided. See, there are two ways of doing research. It's something that fascinates me and has fascinated me for a long time, ever since I was a child, probably. Some people have a research interest as children, Actually, babies are the best researchers. They're always trying to investigate things, right? So you do have to give your best. There are two ways of doing it, as I said. One is that you're fascinated with something and you look up people who are actually working in your field and try to contact them or try to read papers that have been written by these in that area. Or you look for somebody who's known to be good and join that person for research. Is that what you wanted to ask, Justin?
Justine, even as in the research gate, I thought of explaining even the research gate actually. In the research gate, if I'm specialization in protein chemistry or enzymology, somewhere in the corner of the world, some other the people or some place the same specialization. So the ResearchGate will help you here. If I have any query, that's what the ResearchGate, I thought of explaining the ResearchGate the little bit by showing few things, but because of the time constraints, I'm not able to tell. In the ResearchGate, you can communicate with your work, with your same work. And if you want to do the research, yes, first you should know to whom you want to join, what is their specialization. If your research the topic is a match with them, yes, you can join. It can be like this also, but you can you have it can direct contact with the researcher with the same field that happened in the ResearchGate. Okay, this can happen only in the ResearchGate. This is the advantages of using the ResearchGate. I'm doing some experiment. I'm stuck somewhere. I don't know how to interpret the result. I don't know. I have some doubt. So I just go in the ResearchGate. There just I put the message and I'll tell, hey, can anyone please help me? This is the problem I'm facing. I'm not able to know what to do. So like this, you can request. Yes, many people will give the suggestion there with the same specialization subject. I think, Justin, you got the answer. Okay. Okay, thank you.
All right, we're coming close to the hour. Now, is there anyone who'd like to present something that's caught your eye and you'd be happy to? Normally, at least the few journal clubs in parts of the world that I've attended, be it in IISc or in Bristol, is that we find something a paper that fascinates us. We give that link and a short synopsis of that paper. We can post it on our MS Teams. And we present it, as ma'am have said, a short presentation of 10 minutes, and then it's open to discussion. So most papers, there'll always be some controversial thing that comes up or some thing that we want to know more about. So it's kind of that, and an exchange of ideas, and where could we go from there? What could they have done more, etc. So who'd like to be the first presenters? Are we having it, Ishika, Lokesh? Are we having this every once a week? What is the plan?
Ma'am, we planned it twice a month.
Twice a month. Okay, which days?
Ma'am, Saturdays were decided, but this Saturday, since we had the exam, we couldn't keep it.
Okay.
So we are going ahead with Saturdays.
Saturdays. All right. So next Saturday, right? 15th.
Yes, ma'am.
No, or following Saturday. Are we starting straight away this Saturday?
22nd.
Yes, ma'am,
Yeah,
22nd.
but we didn't have a presentation. We just had how to go about it. So we can start with presentations if you like next coming Saturday, 15th.
Yes, ma'am, that will be fine.
So we can have maybe 2 or 3 people who would like to come up with something. Nobody? No point in a journal club with silence. Come on. Who would like to volunteer? Okay. Amrita
Okay,
says
good,
she'll
Amrita.
present.
Ma'am, can we have a team of 2 or 3?
Yeah, we could have, yes.
Okay, ma'am.
You can form your team, but one person can suggest and then form the team. So Amrita can have 2 more. She can bring in a couple of people. That way we can bring in more people. Or she can do it herself independently. No problem. We have one. Come on. Where is
Yes.
the rest of you? Yes, Ishika is doing
3.
one. Okay. So shall we start with 2 presentations for this Saturday, and then we'll see how it goes subsequently. Okay? Or is there a third
how long
party?
would
Yes? Who's speaking?
I had a question about the presentations, ma'am. How
Yes.
long will they have to be?
Yeah, 10 minutes. Just a brief
Okay,
summary of
thank
the
you.
paper that has caught your eye and has fascinated you. You bring out the essence of why it fascinated you, what work they've done, and what caught your interest. What were their final. As ma'am said, no, what we normally do is read the abstract, then we read the discussion, then we look at the results, and then skim over the materials and methods if we're really going to carry out that work. Or we want to know how they managed to do some work like that. So it's just a very brief thing that you try to, it's like a conversation. Hey, I read this the other day, and it was by these authors. And so it's a little informal. It's nothing very formal. It's definitely not your work. It's someone else's which has caught your eye, and you're presenting them. You can talk about fluorescent proteins and how they've been used. You can take a review paper also. It doesn't matter. So we have Amrita and we have Ishika. Anyone else? One more group? Come on, what's happened? And they're suddenly feeling very shy. I thought this was your idea of having a journal club.
Ma'am, one more, register number 70.
70.
BBZ.
Shrestha.
Yeah.
21 BBZ. Shrestha.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Shrestha. Okay, you're taking. Okay, good. So there'll be 3 groups, one headed by Amrita, one by Ishika, and one by Shrestha. Great. So we'll meet next Saturday. Ishika will put up Rakshita and company, Sanjana, etc. will put up the flyer for next Saturday. And we also have a very exciting quiz coming up. Have you put up the thing for the quiz, Ishika?
Not yet, ma'am.
Let us start, no? So that we can tell Arul how many teams will be there. Our world famous quiz master. He's really great. I think you should. It's our privilege to have him. All right. Then we say bye for this evening.
Ma'am, there is one more question. Ma'am, what happened when someone is asking to rewrite his or his paper? Actually, usually it will not happen if there is some mistake. The result have not interpreted it properly during that time. Yes, this can be arised from the journal. I hope it's right, Sandra ma'am.
I don't know what you mean by rewrite. Sometimes they can ask you that you should
experimental they have to give the data. Data. They'll not go for rewrite of the complete the paper. That is the resulted
or
part.
they'll reject the paper. If they have to tell you to rewrite, they'll probably just reject your paper and tell you that it's not suitable for their journal. Rewriting is generally not done. It's they say this is not sufficient data. Maybe you need to give us more.
Add a few more information by pointing this is not clear. This has to be like that. That is from the journal. It are not published yet. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, bye. Thanks, everyone. See you all in full strength.
One more raised. That is 61, 21 BBZ 61.
Ma'am, when 2 different people living in 2 different points of the world write the same paper and publish it out, what happens, ma'am?
They cannot follow the same methodology.
But if the content of the matter is the same, then what happens?
So both work is novel. They are not repeated. They will take who have published first. It cannot be happen actually. Okay. Yeah, tell me, ma'am.
No, Padmashri, that's I think where they're slightly off. In the last at least 20 years, I know, especially the big labs, if they're working on a very important topic, uh, and it's of great importance, then the science, say for example, science, it goes to Science or Nature or one of these top journals, generally Science, Nature or Cell or PNAS, and they know that people are working in this and they're almost about to publish. There is a mutual understanding that all these papers will come out together in one same journal. I've seen this happen also, where you have these things. Of course, every lab has its own methodology and it can't be an exact copy, like copy paste thing. So obviously there will be, but the overall idea that this phenomenon is happening, uh, 3 or 4 labs could, or more than one lab could, this thing. And if the journals are aware of it, they hold on to the publication till these two papers come together. It's happened often. In the last 20 years, it's happened very often. In the past, it was, as ma'am says, the first person who came and published, it was taken that they are the ones who contributed. But there's been a bit of a change in that type of attitude.
Then that becomes a collaboration journal.
No, it
No,
isn't a
it cannot be
collaboration.
collaboration. Collaboration is different. It's a mutual understanding between both the authors. That is called as collaboration. Both are doing equal work. That is called as collaboration. I'm collaborating with you. It's nothing but you are doing some work. I'm doing some work. Then finally we coming with the same data, not with the different data.
Okay, ma'am.
Ask questions, huh?
Like when we write a research paper, there are a lot of chances that it can get plagiarized. So how can we prevent that?
When you write a research paper, will it get plagiarized? Is that
No,
your
ma'am.
question?
Like there are chances that, like when you, I remember in the first meeting, you were telling us that there are chances that it is, when you check it, it can get about 20% plagiarism. So how can we prevent that?
Oh, then you should write a paper in your own words. Plagiarism
Plagiarism
comes
is.
in. Plagiarism comes in when you copy and paste. All right, and lots of people do that. Figures especially are copied and pasted. Unfortunately, figures at the moment are not done that. There are lots of these plagiarism checks now, apps where you can check to what extent it has been. You know that there have been full theses that have been
Plagiarism.
submitted, yeah,
True.
have been submitted by people. You know, they take, now UGC has clamped down on all that. You have to publish through UGC your PhD. So your thesis is on the open, online, open access. So that can't be done anymore. But I mean, it can be done, but there are lesser chances of it being done. I think another worry is that when you publish in low quality journals and it's not accepted, uh, they can repeat your work and uh, you can fall into trouble. Another place where I found is a bit dicey is publishing in Chinese uh, journals. Some of them are high impact. It's not that they are publishing low, but they can play dirty. It's known to happen. Um, that's bad luck. So it's good to go with journals who are very well established. There's something called the Web of Science, that is Clarivate Analytics. Okay, so you can scan there for recognized journals and try to publish only in recognized journals. Very rarely would you, if ever, you would have a problem with a recognized journal. But you yourself, plagiarism, there's a thing called plagiarism check. So when you're reading a paper, you write it in your own words. See, I always tell my students who have done term papers and all with me, is see, there are so many tenses, right, in English. You use, if it's in the simple present, you can put it in the past present or the in any other form and say the same thing, right? But you don't copy exactly the sentence, lift it out from a paper and put it in another paper. That's plagiarism.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. I'm sure there must be lots of questions boiling within you all to ask.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, ma'am. In that case of plagiarism and what you would say paraphrasing. Yes, ma'am. Imagine that I paraphrase and someone else paraphrase the same thing that I've paraphrased, and somehow the idea came to be the same. What would you say about it?
I would say that no two people are the same, Justin. It's impossible that two things can be identical except twins. And even twins, there are some differences. I would say that, one. Two, you can't, it's not possible. It's not possible to, and you have to give the reference. See, if I'm paraphrasing, suppose I've taken from this article, identification of individual components. I can't write the statement, I can't see the abstract, but I can't, if you can show the abstract of this plus one. Padma Shri, is it possible for you to show the abstract?
Yes, ma'am, sure.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I think it's visible.
No.
It's no.
All right. Doesn't matter. You okay. So just leave. It doesn't matter, Padma Shri. Any paragraph
Okay.
is fine.
I think now it's visible, ma'am.
Nothing's visible. Okay. Now it's visible.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. Now it's visible. Fine.
Okay.
Now see, I want to say wheat germ acid phosphatase is a commercial preparation of partially purified protein commonly used in laboratory settings for non-specific enzymatic dephosphorylation. There are two things. I can quote that. Okay, I have to change the English, but I have to quote this paper. So referencing is very important. Even if you paraphrase it, you have taken it from here. It is not your idea. You have to give this as reference. You understand, Justin?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so it's not only paraphrasing, it is also giving the recording from where you got the source, from where you got it. It's very, very important. You cannot make it your own. Any other questions? If there isn't, shall we say bye for today and meet and come with lots of questions for next week? Let's make it exciting. Don't let's just sit over there quietly. It becomes very boring. There should be inter-class discussion, not only teachers saying something. You hear enough of us during the week. So, Amrita, Ishika, Shrestha, we look forward to your presentations and some exciting information that you will pass on to us.